serious bacterial infection. It can be deadly if not treated immediately. There are three main types.
The bubonic plague is the most common and is transmitted by rats and fleas. It infects your immune system and causes inflammation. If it isn't treated immediately, it can travel to the blood, leading to the septicemic plague. It can also spread to the lungs, causing pneumonic plague. If the person infected by the pneumonic plague coughs, the bacteria is expelled into the air. If another person breathes them in, they would get infected by the deadly disease.
The symptoms of the bubonic plague start within 2 to 7 days, starting when the bacteria enters the body. The symptoms are chills, headaches, fever, swelling, and muscle pain.
The Black Death arrived in Europe in 1347, when trading ships arrived in Italy after a long journey through the Black Sea. Some of the sailors aboard were the ones that were alive were seriously ill. People tried to send the ships away, but it was too late. The epidemic had already started.
The Middle Ages in Europe is marked by the invasion of William the Conqueror in England.
He was named king in 1066. The First Crusade was at the end of the 11th century in 1096. Knights and peasants were going to Jerusalem. In 1122, the Concordat of Worms was signed. This was an agreement between Pope Callistus and Henry V. In 1215, King John signed the first Magna Carta and started a tradition. The Magna Carta was a signed treaty that stated that every baron will give the kings protection, and in return there would be many benefits. A huge genocide came along with this next century. In 1347, the Black Death killed millions. This disease was spreading till 1353.
In Europe, before the plague was, generally speaking, good. The society had been growing for 300 years. People, mostly men, could speak perfect Latin. And they also started their own languages. The first Italian, and it gave the country huge wealth and power.
Everywhere there was happiness, including the paintings, sculptures, and manuscripts. When the plague struck, it changed everything. Entire cities were depopulated and new ones were built. If you were rich, you lost everything, and if you were poor, you would have wealth. Inheritance gave many people a lot of wealth. Art started to show the chaos. They expressed sadness and pain and sorrow, showing us how afraid people were of life and the illness. The illness whipped out almost half of Europe's population.
When the Black Plague was taking over Europe, it had no cure, but the patients were treated with the following treatments. When a person gets the disease, he or she must be put in bed and washed with vinegar. The swelling must be cut open so that the infection comes out, so the disease leaves the body. A mixture of tree raisins, the roots of white lilies, and dried human extract milk should be applied to the areas that have been cut. The diet of the patient also affects the recovery. The patient should avoid eating food that go bad easily and that smell bad, like meat, cheese, and fish. He or she should eat vegetables, fruit, and bread instead. To avoid a further contagion or infection, the street should be cleared of all human and animal waste. It should be taken away to the town or city in a cart and burned.
All dead bodies that were once infected by the disease should be buried deep in a pit away from the village, and their clothes should be burnt. In Middle-aged Europe, people believed that putting a live hand next to the swelling would draw out the pestilence from the body. To improve the recovery, the patient should drink a glass of their own urine twice a day.
Plague is rare today, thanks to the antibiotics and improved living conditions. It is found all over the world today, except for Australia, and the biggest number of infections occur in Africa. The World Health Organization claims there are 1,000 to 3,000 cases of plague every year. About 10 of them occur in the U.S. Today, the disease is transmitted by bites infected by like prays and dogs. There has not been a case of person to infection since 1924. Antibiotics treat the plague effectively if it is used soon after the patient has been infected. This is important. Without the treatment, the mortality rate is 60%, and death can occur just a few days after the symptom appears. There is no vaccine against them.